Hi everyone, this is Ellen Marie Francisco. Thanks for coming into my channel. Piglet's here in the corner. Today is the Hunter Moon. I thought we'd look at the energies surrounding it and ask, what do we need to know for this moon cycle? It's a full moon, it's Aries, it's going to be powerful. It does tie into the eclipse. These are the things I already know. So we're just gonna pull 5 cards, they're telling me today. We know the energies are intense this month. They've been gearing up, amping up, flaring up, stirring up, blowing up, and all the stories. A lot of stories have a different story now. You had an idea, you thought it was going to go this way, it would follow a certain predictable outline. It seems like there's a lot less predictability, even the things that we've been relying on are changing or moving through us. So I'm asking, what do we need to know about the energies around the Hunter Moon? I'll roll up my sleeves with this one. I know people are having a hard time because I've been doing all the readings, and they're all worried nothing's going to come through, worried that everything's going to fall apart. I think our ground has already been shifting. I think we've been having to pay attention to what needs to shift anyway below the surface, underneath everything. And here we are. I can't believe we're nearly done 2025. Anyway, here we go. Well, we may as well look at the first card flying out. It's the Four of Wands. Cut the deck. I'm gonna use my middle. Oh, isn't that something? Our moon. All right, we're starting with the moon. We got the King of Swords, and he's upside down. And we have the King of Cups. He's also upside down. And we have our, why? We have our Nine of Swords. I know why, because it's the sign of the times, and we are healing, and we are clearing, and it is demanding. Yep. And one more card. Oh gosh, the Five of Swords. Okay, well, as you know, if you've been watching my videos, the Four of Wands has been coming up. This does have to do with foundations and nesting and how to work with our home energies, our home life, stabilizing, our nurturing home fronts. Yeah, so there could be a lot of people moving during this phase because of the shifting energies underneath our feet. It's how they're putting it. It's almost like I can feel rubble underneath, like earthquake energy in a way. So there could be a lot of upsets at home that are still working out in the foundation around the house and who's in it with you and things like that. And with the moon, well, the moon is obviously going to be enlightening things up and bringing things to the surface. We have had a lot of our underlying subconscious want to be more outspoken in our day-to-day worlds, and the moon is going to do it under a moon cycle, obviously. So you could have a lot of secrets come out. Secrets could be coming out, hidden things again, coming to the surface under the light of this moon. And you may be moody as hell, honestly. You may feel like you've got it together one day and not got it together the next day, and you could be really on a bit of an emotional roller coaster with all of this as well. Your moon, everybody has a moon, that they're working with. Your moon may be a different impacting moment than somebody else's, but regardless, we're all being stirred up to the core, asking to allow things to come up and out of us to be released into the light. It could be, a lot of people are being asked to give up part of their shadow right now in a very big way. And not everybody's interested in doing that. Not everybody understands that we're here to become our exalted versions of ourselves, to work through the darknesses, work through the constrictions and the places that hold no hope, and work and see where's our move, where is our leap of faith coming from. Yeah, so definitely prayers to the moon, prayers to layers of gratitude that you have within yourself. It's easy to get stuck in a loop. It's easy to get kind of pulled down into the muck during this energy. Very tempting. If it's not tempting, it's tempting and testing. Yeah, so it's really important to do a little bit of soulful heart to heart during this influence of the moon, and really ask yourself, what is driving you right now? Is it greed? Is it desperation? What is driving you? What is coming up to the surface to be cleared out? If you're being driven by your own spiritual foundation, you could be remaking your foundation. I think that's the point. I think we're all being asked to remake a foundation here somewhere, to allow the new foundation to take hold. Yeah, with more of our soul truths. It's not the heart that I'm feeling with this moon, it's the soul. And now it doesn't mean that we're not going to be emotional. I think we're really going to have things right on the edge for a little bit. I think this is going to follow us around for another couple of weeks. Now, with the men that are coming in beside the moon, we do have the King of Truth here and the King of Emotional Clarity and Emotional Truth, in fact. They're both upside down. I have said for quite some time that the patriarch is dead. I don't mean to be insulting, but Mother has come back to reclaim the earth, and we must embody our femininity as much as we have been overriding our masculinity. Think about all the women, too, like the women who had to become men to make it in the world, are now realizing maybe they can just be the feminine moon. Maybe they can just be the moon energies. I think it actually is both. We need both. And these guys are not taking the forefront, even though they are showing up. These guys are kind of turned upside down. So I think the men are going to have a hard time, I guess is what I'm hearing. There could be a lot of, I know there's a lot of breakups right now. I've seen them. I've been doing readings with people who are going through them. They're very intense. They've come out of nowhere in a lot of ways. But again, like, think about it. We've just been through the eclipse cycles. If you don't know the eclipses already, that, something's leaving, something's coming. It's all by divine order. So you could be saying goodbye to some of the patriarch in your world, meaning you may be hanging them up a little bit so that you can rely on your own moon tides here. Also, it could be that, I mean, when the King of Truth is upside down, you can expect people to be lying to you left, right, and center. You could be lying to yourself if you're not willing to take the depth here and be the tide, allow the tide to move through you and acknowledge and own your tidal waters, essentially. When the King of Cups is around, sometimes, this can point to alcoholism and extreme drinking. And it could be that if it's upside down, that somebody's finally taking a stab at trying to get sober during, it's come to light. Wow, there really is a problem here that may need to be solved. And gosh, it's so funny how this light is dancing. Yeah, it's always dancing in this corner. Anyway, what else do I want to say about these guys? It's hard to stand strong in your strength too, right? Like it could be that, men are getting really hard hit with some of the vulnerability that's necessary during the sense of this moon. What happens when there's conflict normally in the olden days? Oh, let's go to war. Let's be conflicted. But would the moon go to war? Would the moon just feel into what's going on and go, ugh, what a terrible day. Hopefully it's better tomorrow. So I believe that the intensity of this moon, which could be extremely violent and antagonistic, is kind of helping us give a warning that we're better to hang that up. Let the ego go right now. Let all the ideas that you think are, what are the ideas? What are we saying about the ideas? Our ideas are changing regardless. Our perceptions are changing. Our truth is changing. That's why the king of truth is upside down. He's not sure where his new truths are lying yet. He's got to speak to his feminine and figure that out. He's got to do some soul searching and get in there. Now, the next two cards that we're working with are the five. Well, we had the nine first, but we're not doing the Celtic cross this time. I'm just pulling five cards. So they're all relating to each other regardless, and they're all basically showing us what we've got to deal with. Now, the Nine of Wands is a painful card. It is a PTSD card. You can be coming out of some very deep traumas during this moon cycle, trying to allow yourself to liberate yourself from them. Sometimes we need to wallow in our pain temporarily. Sometimes it's a holding zone for future growth. And sometimes it's, it's the awareness that we're even in pain that comes to the surface for the first time. Like sometimes we're just too busy dealing with the trauma that we don't realize we're traumatized. We don't realize we've been hyper vigilant and things like that. So we may be trying to release the wound, of course, a little bit more. Not everybody wants to be vulnerable during an antagonistic period, right? Like a lot of people, if they're met with the intensity of an Aries moon, I mean, it's called the hunter moon. Good heavens, who's being hunted? Our souls are being hunted for. I don't know where the moon card went. Where did she go? I feel like I'm all left thumbs right now. Okay, which sums up kind of what October is like. You're gonna be flailing around trying to do things, and you may not get as far as you want to go. Let's put it that way, because for sure we're clearing emotional densities. Even if we're in a decent enough emotional state, even if we're aware of where we are emotionally, we are still in a cleaning, clearing phase. And regardless, things that we need to know for our next steps forward are only just being illuminated now. They've barely been hinted at. Like, not everything is available all the time. And universe allows certain pieces to fall into our laps. And sometimes we're so busy doing other things that we don't understand what gift we just received. It takes us a little while to understand, or it may take somebody else in our lives to say, hey, can you see what just happened here? So what just happened here? And for you, there could be a few things that have happened and are about to unfold. With the five of wands, I can't really ever get much more from this card when I tune into it, no matter who I'm reading, that says the universe is handling the details in the background and you are on a need to know basis for the most part. And there are cycles of change that are upon us, that are readying for our new world, so to speak, because we're in a new world. In a lot of ways, our old world has been falling off steadily for years already, and the new one has been trying to edge to the surface. So why don't we spend a moment just allowing whatever energies are coming up to be seen? Why don't we keep an open mind without getting too defensive about it or antagonistic ourselves? Maybe we can just go, okay, here's the new information. I'm going to work with this now. I'm going to digest this. I seem to be saying the same thing about this period, right? Reading to reading for the October's energies. Yeah, so the October energy, so again, we are trusting. We have to trust. We're in enough of a bit of a foible with some of the energies this month that, hitting it hard isn't gonna help as much. I think that's also why the guys are upside down. You know, the hard warlike approach isn't gonna work this month with this moon cycle for the next couple of weeks. It's gonna be better to soften, surrender, be vulnerable, acquiesce in a way. I'm not saying give up your power by any stretch. I would never tell you to do that. Sometimes we have to acquiesce to the situation momentarily while our energies combine or coalesce to make better decisions with clear information. When in doubt, don't. That's also telling you for this moon. When in doubt, don't. Go do something nice for yourself. A lot of the uh, feminine energies around the moon, you know, Aries can be very domineering. It doesn't really, it doesn't really care what you think or feel necessarily. It just wants to charge forward, you know, stake the claim to the day and move through things without a whole lot of interference. So yeah, I think it's going to be a bit of a tug of war, a bit of a push and pull tug of war. You really are going to have to rely on your constitutional sustenance, your spiritual constitutional sustenance, and the parts of you that know and are willing to sit strongly in the knowing. You don't have to be an egomaniac. You can just quietly hold your own truth. At the end of the day, it's the energetics that are going on inside of you that are changing your world for the better or for the worse. So if you feel like you don't have a ton of influence right now, your influence is internal. Allow yourself to come to terms with parts of yourself that have a voice right now that didn't have a voice a few weeks ago. Parts of your heart we know have awakened. We're already dealing with that. I talked a lot about that on my October and September eclipse videos, so you can look at those if you need more help with that. But mostly, you know, we have to be soul dominant with this moon. It looks like you know, you don't want to go against your own best judgment. You don't really want to go against your own vulnerabilities either. You know, if vulnerabilities are coming up for you right now and there's a bit of an emotional weariness around them, take the opportunity to see where you can shore up those weaknesses and if there's anything you can do to reshift. You know, I guess sometimes when the eclipses come in, you know, they'll shift our world for us. But there's a lot of times where we're really willing to shift our own foundation. So look at where, you know, look at what you're willing to move around for yourself. If at the end of the day you have to change, you have to move, how can you do that comfortably without feeling like you're losing it, you know, totally? I think, yeah. So, and anyway, with these emotional moons, you got to let the tears flow, right? Like the energies that are hiding in tears in a tiny teardrop are incredibly expansive. So you can get a lot of work done with a really good cry. And anyway, you're going to feel you know, a whole lot better afterwards. Maybe not right away, but you know what I mean. So you're going to feel a lot better. So I wanted to send you so much love because I really do. I mean, gosh, the birds keep hitting my windows today. I feel so bad. Yeah, see, I mean, this is symbolic. The birds just hit the window. You know, they thought they had a clear view, right? They thought they know where they were going. And suddenly they hit a clear pane of glass and they're in a little bit of pain. So, and they've had to write their course. I'm going to take that as an interesting omen. So you may know you may think you know where you're going. And there's invisible walls up right now for you, you know, that you don't even see. So if you hit a wall and it's invisible, it looked like it should have been a breakthrough moment for you, then just give it a day or two and let the energies, you know, come around again. right? You still got wings. You can still fly. And a little bit of a bump in the head. Hmm. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But don't be headstrong, I guess. I guess we could take that from the bird. Anyway, the little bluebird didn't get through my house. But you're going to get through the week, and you're going to get through this moon, and you're going to get through this eclipse cycle, and you're going to get through everything because you have to. Okay, so it ain't over till it's over. I wrote a song actually called "It Ain't Over Till It's Over." Maybe I'll share it with you sometime. Until then, I just really want you to share yourself with yourself, because that's really where you know, your inner power is going to come from, is understanding what you need and why you need it, and being willing to move your world around so you can attain it for yourself. And have a great day. Namaste until another day. Hang in there, everybody. I love you.